With the NCAA football reveal trailer set to drop in May, the excitement continues to increase. College kids are borrowing EA's posters that were posted at some of the major universities, and I'm sure all of us are checking for updates on social media constantly. So as the hype continues, it's time to talk about the top 5 most wanted features in NCAA Football 25. Kicking off our list, we have TeamBuilder. In previous NCAA football games, TeamBuilder was a website that allowed you to create your own school, along with customizing your school's name, logos, uniforms, and program ratings. For this game to reach its maximum potential, this is pretty much a must-have, because the name of the game for NCAA success is customization. That's what the player base wants. Let us build our own stadium like 2K does, where you can change the court colors and designs, even things like being able to upload logos that other people created like they do in 2K. Details like that would blow people away and ultimately would be a huge W for the first release of this game. It's hard to believe EA wouldn't add these features, especially with the next-gen technology that we have at our disposal. At number 2, we have customizing the amount of teams that make the college football playoffs. The first thing that came to my head was a 64 or 68 team college football playoffs like they do in basketball for March Madness. This is insanely unrealistic, but to me sounds extremely cool. Imagine taking a mediocre team to the college football playoffs as a last seed and making a run deep into the football playoffs by knocking off powerhouses like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. I just think having opportunities like this can take this game beyond already the high expectations. I want to be the 64th seed and I want to try to make a deep run into the playoffs. Let me know what you think of the March Madness style college football playoffs. But for number 3, we have halftime shows and interviews. I think I speak for a high majority of people when I say we need halftime interactions. I want Reese Davis talking about other big games, the scores, showing us instant replays that are happening around the country, and things along those lines. This is something EA has done a horrible job with in Madden. We've pretty much had the same intros and halftime shows for a few years now, and it began being very repetitive for a long time. Even though this doesn't affect the gameplay, it does involve making the game feel like college game day, which is also a big must and honestly something they did a good job with in NCAA 14. So with today's technology, it's hard to not expect some great halftime show dialogue between people like Reese Davis and the crew. Now take this with a grain of salt because there is absolutely nothing confirming this, but how cool would it be to have the Pat McAfee show in the game and doing interviews with Pat as a coach of a team, being questioned by Pat, the Toxic Table, and AJ Hawk. This is a long shot, but the way it can work is if you're having a breakout season as a coach or a big game coming up within the next week, they'll invite you on the show, then the way you answer the questions can impact fan happiness and possibly increase your school's popularity for recruiting. Again, Pat McAfee may not even be in the game, but I think it would be a super unique feature to have, even if it's something they add in the future editions. Coming in at number 4, we have the ability to customize schedules. This is a great feature they had in NCAA 14, being able to make your strength of schedule tougher or weaker depending on what you wanted to do. But even besides that, it's fun scheduling your own games like you're the athletic director of your school, and it's honestly a big proponent on how your year is going to go. If you're a lower overall team playing versus SEC and Big Ten schools, then your games will be a lot harder and you probably won't have a great season. But I think adding in progression factors can make the schedule customization even cooler. Like if you make your schedule super tough, that could mean your players will have a better chance of progressing faster and increasing their overall. But if you play a weak schedule, the progression will be lower and can even regress if you lose against weaker teams. Factors like this can make a game super exciting in my opinion, so I hope things like this are added to the game. And finally at number 5, we have enhanced scouting and recruiting. I think adding a phase where you can meet up to 3 to 5 recruits with their families and talk to them about why they fit your scheme and why they love your school, and ultimately just trying to get them to commit to your program can be a really cool feature. And having a maximum amount of times you can meet with players would be a good way of making us think about the positions of need and what players you really want to add to your squad. Additionally, having weekly feedback by emails or even text messages on how interested certain players are can make the recruiting that much better. Ultimately, having a more immersive way of recruiting players can take this game over the top. What features do you think are must-haves in NCAA College Football 25, and did I miss any in the top 5? Let me know in the comments, and I appreciate you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more NCAA football content, and I'll see you next video.